Hello, cool, attractive, and smart listeners. Welcome to another episode of the Geek Press Podcast. Today on the episode, Noah and Lewis talk about the brand new Star Wars show, Ahsoka. Everything we loved, we hated, and we hope to see later on in the season. If you enjoy what you're listening to, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please give us a high rating so we can get that sweet, sweet ad revenue money so I can just feed my corn dog addiction. Thanks for listening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, days and numbs. My name is Luis Gutierrez, and as always, welcome to episode 60 of the Geek Press Podcast. As always, I'm joined by my rotating guest celebrity co-host. Today, you know him, you love him, Mr. Michael Sarah. How you doing?
Uh, hey, it's real nice to meet you, Louis. I'm real excited to be here.
I know you did the Barbie movie. How was that like?
Yeah. Well, you see, the thing about Margot Robbie is that she carries around a whip and just whips people, and I was kind of into it. That's okay.
I've heard that about her. Her and Jared Leto on the set of Suicide Squad were just going around being weirdos.
Oh my god. I can't slander her like this anymore.
Why?
Hello.
Why, Noah?
She's my celebrity wife. She just doesn't know it yet. Hey guys, I'm Noah. I'm the co-host of this podcast. Each week I'm subjected to doing a celebrity impersonation. And I had to break character because I was gonna say the other guy, but I forgot the guy's name.
Which guy?
What's the name again?
Ryan Gosling?
Oh, I was gonna say Ryan something horrible about Ryan Gosling, but I forgot his name. But yeah, hi, how are you? I still need to see that movie. I still haven't seen it.
You're not gonna watch it.
I'm
You're not gonna watch it.
The thing is, if I don't watch something right away, it takes me a long time to watch it.
Yeah, I know you pretty well. Like you're not like how you said you weren't gonna watch Turtles. You're not gonna watch Barbie 'cause you hate women.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if you're like, oh, because I feel like we have two things where you're either like, yeah, me and my girlfriend are gonna go see it, or like, no, I'm not gonna watch that. And it's like one or the other, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But with me, it's like I'm either gonna watch it like yes, or it's like, yeah, I'll have to see that, and then I just never see it.
That was Barbie for you.
That was Barbie for me. You know what? This week I'm gonna go. I'm
I
gonna
like how
go see a
you
movie.
watched The Flash over the Barbie.
I didn't pay for the ticket.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you paid
I
for the
didn't pay
ticket.
for it.
That's like saying, yo, I went to a Trump rally, but I didn't pay for the ticket. My buddy did.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm taking
How
it to extremes.
I hate that. Well, it's tough because like Ezra Miller is non-binary, which the Republicans hate, but also they're white and they beat people, which the Republicans love. So
Yeah.
it's like clashing of the two Clash of Clans right now.
Dun, dun, dun,
But but Lewis, how are you? What you been up to? What media have you been consuming? What's going on?
So, what have I been doing? I have been working my part-time job, which is it's cool. I'm socializing with people and stuff. You know, it's nice to get out of the house and like
Mhm.
connect with other humans. That's something I've consistently talked about like working from home. That's working from home is cool because you know you don't get to spend gas. You wake up, walk like 10 feet to the other room, you clock in. You know, that's really tight. But you know, there's just you know we're social beings. We gotta gotta see other people. You know, and
Mhm.
so it's cool doing that. But here's the thing: since it is a part time job, um, majority of the people I was talking to enemy of the podcast, Rudy. Look, we're not even 5 minutes in. I'm already shit talking him.
Rudy is my friend, and I think he's great. I
I
just
don't.
want
I
to, in
hate
case
him.
the yeah.
And I was talking to Rudy about this, and I just feel like all the people that I work with, excluding my boss, they
Mhm.
have like a little kid mentalities. You know, they're very much like how I used to act when I worked at like the pizza place when I used to deliver pizzas.
Mhm.
And that like I'm no longer that same person. Like I've grown and I've matured since then. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not like shitting on them. I'm just saying like
Yes, you are.
I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. It's just like they have that little kid mentality, and I'm just like, oh yeah, like it's interesting to see that, you know.
Mhm.
to see how I used to be, because I kind of like, in a weird way, I see myself when I look at them, like little aspects of it. But I'm just like, I can't really connect with you guys because like I'm on a different like wavelength than you at the moment,
Mhm.
and that's just life. So that's like the main thing. But I was also saying it's something I have to like balance now, is because I only work about 2 days out of the week, and that's because I try to leave my other days open for freelancing. And when I when I'm working, it's like physical labor. Like I'm running up and down parking lots chasing cars,
Mhm.
and I'm working up a sweat. So by the time I get home, I'm not like emotionally exhausted. I'm like physically exhausted. Just like when you just like you've been working out all day, because for like about 4 hours I'm running up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, fuck. So I have to find that willpower to like go to my computer and start doing my freelance stuff for like IGN and GameSpot and what have you. So that's something I've been like kind of struggling with a bit, but I've been doing it. But the main thing is like as soon as I come home, like this week for example, I found myself just like sitting on my desk and I was just on TikTok for like an hour. And I had
Mhm.
everything open. I had all my Google Docs. I had all like the things I needed open, and I was like, "Oh shit, I got to get to fucking work." And I caught myself, but it's baby steps. I'm kind of like readjusting. That
Mhm.
I know you didn't ask all that, but it's like stuff I've been watching as of late. I'm almost done with this show called Beef. It's with I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, but Steve Yoon, the guy from
I think
Invincible.
it's you.
And I forget who the other girl is. She's a comedian too. It's a predominantly Asian cast, and it's a really good show. It's on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, like I think the less you know about it going in, the better. And I'm just gonna be super vague. It's kind of like a dark comedy, if you will, and it takes a turn, and it's really good. It's really really good. I think everyone should watch it. And I'm also currently watching Futurama, the new season on Hulu. And if you haven't watched that, it's
Ooh.
really good. The thing is,
Mhm.
my girlfriend is like a huge Futurama fan. Even like
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, that's something she doesn't really like publicly talk about for whatever reason. And when I found out, I was like, oh shit. But she's like a super fan, not like a super fan, but like a big big fan. So
Mhm.
she remembers like all the little things. So, and Futurama has a good job with their continuity. So they'll be bringing shit in like that happened literally 20 years ago. Like in one of the episodes, in like the OG seasons, they're like 20 years from now we're gonna give birth, and then obviously it's been like legit 20
Mhm.
years
I
from
know
that
exactly what
episode.
you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so they bring that over into the current season, and Elizabeth's like, "Yo, yeah, I remember that episode," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't remember what you're talking about," because I didn't have cable growing up, but she did, and so it's cool to see her like kind of like fangirl, and like I see like that little kid in her, and that's really cute,
Mhm.
and I really appreciate watching it with her because of that. And also too, I'm a Futurama fan, but like I'm nowhere as big of a Futurama fan as she is. Like where she's like this and that and this, and I'm there for the laughs. But
Mhm.
that's been something I've been watching as of late. And let's see, anything else I've been watching? I was gonna start watching Harley Quinn, the HBO show, but
Mhm.
I realized I got a lot of shit to do, because as of late I've been working on a guide for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the video game. I think I've talked about it on the last podcast. We talk a lot, so I forget. And pretty much this game is, if you guys have ever played like Dead by Daylight, or
Mhm.
like Friday the 13th, where it's like,
It's like in a similar vein where it's like
yeah,
survival,
there's
somebody's chasing
yeah,
you, you
you
have to
have
use the environment.
exactly, yeah, you have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you have his family hunting down the survivors, and the survivors got to escape. And it's I've been working on a guide for that, and I never got a code for the game, because usually when I work on guides, I get a code for the game at least like a couple days early, but I never got one at all. So I've been playing like catch up. And these
Mhm.
last few, like, today's Sunday. The game came out last Friday. So I've been playing it for about like a week consistently, and I'm almost done with it. And I'm really proud of myself of like how much I've been able to knock out in such a short amount of time. And so I've been doing that, but also too, like, this is usually I've talked about this in the past. When I work on guides, like, I don't like to play the game anymore. I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of burnt out. But
Mhm.
there's been an exception for a handful of them. Like Street Fighter was one, Minecraft Legends was another, and this one I'm happy to say is another exception, where like I'm playing the game. I find myself like even when I'm not working on a guide, just playing the game. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. Like that's in my head, that's how I know a game is really good if I can keep doing it, if I still have an interest in it after having to put in like an excessive amount of hours for work for this game.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's been my thing. And also before I bounce, we'll talk about this later once you're done doing your catch up. But yeah, I think that's been about it, to be honest. What about you, Noah? What have you been watching? What have you been consuming? How's life been?
Life has been all right. It's very interesting to see my mother just retired from teaching,
Oh,
and
she
I'm out
officially
of
retired?
yeah, she officially
Ooh,
retired, and I'm
congratulations.
like out of school. And it's very interesting because she like doesn't know what to do with herself. She's like, I had a routine.
I
I had
hear
a
that's a
this and
problem too
this.
with like older
Hmm.
folks after they retire. And it's cuz like I feel like too like society, I'm just going to sound fucking like an incel right now, but society
Hmm.
fucking wires us a
Oh,
certain way,
sorry.
and
Hmm.
where it's like you have to work, you have to do
And if you
this.
don't work, then it's
Then you're
meaningless.
yeah,
Then
then
life
you're a
is
fucking
pointless.
loser. What are you doing with your life, you know?
Mhm.
And that's not true at all. But that's just like if you're feeling that way, that's not true. I'm talking to the listeners.
And it's just interesting to see that because as someone who like does freelance work, who helps family out, who doesn't have like a consistent job, I'm just like, oh mom, you need to learn to do things around the house like I do.
You be like,
You think
what?
I'm cleaning for fun?
Tell your mom, be like, oh mom, you're bored. Those dishes need to get done right now. They
Yeah,
ain't gonna
mom.
wash themselves.
Your trunk has a bunch of crap in it. You can always go through. Like, I'm just
You see the
saying. Like, I
yard? The
don't.
grass is looking a
Uh,
bit too long.
like, mom, there's half my room is just boxes of your things. Maybe you want to start going through that. I don't know. It'd be crazy.
But but
But
those are just a few suggestions, But you do
just a few
you.
suggestions. Yeah, don't feel rushed. Honestly, get yourself a coffee, sit down, read a book. But yeah, so it's interesting seeing her go through that. As for watching, I've been watching two shows. I recently saw What We Do in the Shadows on Hulu.
I remember.
Uh, I watched the first episode and I'm really into it. It's very fun. It's very quirky humor. It's in the vein of like The Office where the camera follows you around, but because it's like vampires and it's like they're out of touch vampires just being quirky and fun, and the special effects are surprisingly really well done because
That's
it's like very
FX for you, baby.
baby, and it's like very brief glimpses of stuff that's like so quick but so well pulled off that you don't like analyze it, and it's like, oh, that was a good effect, and then
Mm,
it's over. But yeah, I really enjoy that. I've been meaning to finish The Bear, the season one of The Bear. I've been watching it.
it's
It's
good.
really good.
I
For those
I
of you who don't know,
I will stand by this. I think The Bear is some of the best television out there right now.
it's incredibly well done. It's like a macabre comedy where it's like like there's lots of drama and then there's like random funny moments.
I have a hard time calling
Mhm.
that show a comedy because it's like
That's why I said macabre
yeah,
because it's like dark humor
because like it
is
is
what
a
I
comedy,
mean.
but like at the same time it gets so real.
Yeah, it'll be like something horrible happen, and then like the cousin will be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And then like the delivery is just like so absurd and like breaks the tension.
You know what I
It's
find
like,
funny
oh
about
my
that
god.
show?
Uh-huh.
I forget his name, but he's the fat guy with all the tattoos. He
Mm,
always plays as an idiot.
yeah.
He's a real life chef. Like he's like I'm pretty sure he's like a professional chef. And I find it funny that in the show like he plays as like an idiot.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right, let's carry on
Oh no, I'm trying to remember his name, but no,
then.
I'm just like I'm trying to
Fox,
think of it.
Fox, something like that.
Oh, I don't know, but I've been watching that and I've been really enjoying it. And I might be taking a break from comics. There's just nothing that's been interesting me lately.
Have you heard of
I've
what's
been
happening
watching
with what's it called? Spider-Man?
what I'm ignoring all of that. My Spider-Man's Miles Morales, so I don't have to worry about that. Like he made an electric sword. That's what I'm focusing on. But yeah, I've been doing that and everything's been pretty good. We talked about it last podcast, but I saw Blue Beetle and father neutral ally to the podcast, Diego Crespo of the Waffle Press invited me on for an episode, and we talked about it, and it was a lot of
You
fun.
know, hold on, we got to talk
Uh,
about that real
mhm.
quick. I keep
Okay,
seeing I keep seeing you say
mhm.
thank you for finally inviting me on to this
Yeah,
podcast, but you've been on multiple episodes of.
I've been on one episode, and it was by friend of the podcast, Gina Versa.
See, so this is your second
So
time.
my tweet was, it only took my father 7 years to invite me on.
Oh my god! All right.
But yeah, that was my that was like complete. But should I make the transition that we're all waiting for? Should I make it, or is there anything else you want to talk about?
So yeah, there is something I wanted to talk about. So I
Mhm.
have just been getting into Magic again. Well, again for I'm
Oh my gosh,
still
we got to talk all about that.
yeah I'm
Let me tell you something. I bought a Magic card 5 years ago when my old university professor, Miss Wednesday, gave me a ride because I was walking home like next to Rose Parks. She was like, "Oh, you want to ride?" And I was like, "Sure." And her son was in the back, and he was playing with Magic cards, and he showed me one. And I thought it looked really cool, so I bought it online for 58 cents. And so I've just had a Magic card in my room for like the past 5 years, and then this mother Lewis is like, "Oh, come play Magic with me. Come play Magic with me. I got Kevin. Come da 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 da." And now I just have a Magic deck, and now my cousin's boyfriend is just giving me like stacks and stacks of Magic cards he doesn't want anymore.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna give most of them to you because I don't really, I don't know what I would want. I don't know what to do with them. But
You
yes,
you
continue with
play
what you're
you
gonna
play
say.
with them.
Well, you would know what to do with them better than me. We'll share
We
them.
have the same amount of knowledge. You, if anything, you've played
I
the game
really
more than me
don't.
at this point.
I don't think so.
That is 110% true. I played with Kevin maybe like fucking 5 times, maybe three.
I think you and me need a duel then.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't. Hold on. I'm gonna address this bullshit right now. I don't understand why y'all like. Oh, you know the game better than me. Blah, 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 blah." No,
But you just seem more invested.
I was just the one who was the most vocal about it. You guys have like all of last week. That when I played with Kevin at his house, that was the first time I played in like a week and a half.
Mhm.
Because I've been busy. But you motherfuckers are always like I see in the group chat. Oh, you know, fucking Noah used the Dino deck. Kevin's using the Mordor. Like you guys are fucking giving us play by play like on every other day. So don't give me that shit. You don't know how
Oh
to
my God.
play.
I was just trying to hype you up. I'm like, oh yeah, Lewis is a badass. He knows how to play the game. But no, you just can't accept it.
No, especially when I was playing with Kevin in his house and I kept drawing nothing but fucking land cards, and how I lost.
Mhm.
Oh, that was
No, that
irritating.
fucking happens. But continue. Start with your Magic thing. What were you about to say? What was your
Okay.
rehearsed speech?
So there's a shop I go to. It's called Cycle Turtles Collectibles. You guys should go check them out if you're like in the LA, like it's like the
East LA area.
East LA area. You know, if you're around that area, go check them out. And they have a Magic the Gathering night every Monday, Friday, but they also have it's this new card game that came out by Disney called Lorcana, and it's like Magic
Uh-huh.
but for Disney, but it's a lot more simpler. And they have that for Mondays, Fridays as well. And I called Noah literally maybe like an hour ago before we started recording, and I was like, "Hey Noah, you want to come with me? Well, today's Sunday, so when the episode drops tomorrow, I was like, "Hey Noah, you want to come with me tomorrow? Go play some Magic at the shop." And he's like, "Fuck it, let's go." So I'm trying to get Noah to get more into
Mhm.
this too, and I try to get Kevin into it, and Kevin's like, "Oh no, I gotta play Warhammer on Mondays in Pasadena."
Well, the thing is that we all have to drive to him, but he'll never drive to us.
That is true. That is very true. Hold on.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I
no,
love
no,
you,
no,
Kevin.
no, no.
I'm just joking, Kevin. Thank you. I love you very
we're
much.
airing out all our dirty laundry right
No,
now.
I love you, Kevin, so much.
Every
You
time we've
can't
had
lose
a
a
hangout
listener, Lewis.
sesh.
You can't lose a listener.
Every time we've
We
had a
have-
hangout sesh, we've always gone to him. You know what? You got me thinking about something now. And then when I
Oh my
told
God.
him,
I
"Hey,
was
let's go hang out," he was like, "I'm going to
joking.
Pasadena, which is even further than where your place is." Fucking Kevin.
I was joking.
I've renounced him. He is no longer Kevin
Oh
Prime.
my God.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
who's Kevin Prime? Then we need to find another Kevin.
I
and
know,
make him
he's-
Kevin Prime.
He's all right. Kevin
Okay,
Prime
you're
is
Kevin.
on
Mhm.
he's on strike 2.
Okay, he's on.
I don't know.
Strike one.
I don't know.
How about we make this strike one?
All right, he's on strike 1.
Alright. I love you, Kevin.
But yeah, so I've been getting Noah into Magic, and so tomorrow
Mhm.
I'm gonna take Noah. Well, Noah's gonna meet me at the card shop. and we're gonna
Mhm.
go play. I don't know if Noah's gonna play. I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna like try to build a deck out of what I have because I've made it a point to like only buy the Lord of the Ring packs because the Lord of the Ring packs, whatever's out there now is out there. They stopped making them. So
Mhm.
once those sell up, that's it. I'm not gonna fall down too deep into that rabbit hole, you know. And for Lorcana, I'm gonna kind of fall down deep into that rabbit hole. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna play tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it, just because it's like the card game community seems like it's really fun, except if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And I just wanna, I don't know, I want to do something new. It seems like it'd be like a fun like routine, you know. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. But we recently watched Ahsoka because Kevin was like, "Hey guys, I don't want to drive out to you guys. You guys
Oh
come,
my god, you're the one who wanted to have a watch
you
party.
guys
I'm
come."
not allowing this revisionist history happening.
He was like, "Hey, you guys drive to my house in fucking downtown LA,
Oh my
and
god.
I refuse to go to you guys, and we're
He
gonna
didn't
watch
say
Ahsoka."
that.
And so that's what happened. We watched the first two episodes of Ahsoka, and it's funny because I've said this before. I don't have a Disney Plus subscription, and I haven't. I don't think I've said this publicly on the podcast, but I have like giant Disney fatigue. Like I could really care less about what they do now, and I don't think I'm almost confident I'm not going to renew like my Disney Plus subscription to continue watching this. No hate on Ahsoka or Filoni or any of them. Just don't really care
Mhm.
about it no more. And so these are going to be the first two and only two episodes of Ahsoka I kind of watch. And whatever spoilers I get will probably be through
Mhm.
Noah on Twitter.
Oh, let me tell you, I thought it'd be really funny if we watched the first two and then we watched the season finale together, and you're just like totally lost. Like, what's happening? Like, fucking Star Killer's there, and you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Ahsoka's like, damn, everything that led up to now, everyone who's dead, this and that, has all been leading to this moment.
Mhm.
but
And
yeah,
then she's like, ah, and it's just crazy.
but yeah, we watched Ahsoka. I kind of give this the first two episodes like a 6, like a 6 out of 10.
Mhm.
I thought the show leaned very heavily on Rebels, and I'm not gonna watch Rebels. I'm not gonna finish Clone Wars. You know, stop making Filoni. I know you're listening. Stop having your fucking shows revolve around those cartoons. Like,
Just watch the cartoons.
no, I'm not gonna
Coward.
watch the cartoons.
Coward.
The Clone Wars is bad for like the first 3 seasons.
I always say to start at season
See,
3.
if you have to say that with the show, that's not a good
Because
side.
that's the thing. There's lots of good episodes, but I know people don't have patience for it. So I'm just like, start at season 3 and you'll be fine.
That
But
is true.
if you have patience for things, then you can watch it. It's good TV.
And then
But
the
mhm,
Rebels animation is straight dookie. I don't know how people can watch it. Like I
mhm,
hate to be that
it's not
guy.
great.
It is
Yeah.
it is ass. Like they just like Rebels, not Rebels. Clone Wars has good animation, and because it's like
Mhm,
it's like CG, I think. And then Rebels, they're just like fuck it, whatever. We got like $10 in our budget. Let's make it fucking count. Anyways, I'm ranting now. But yeah, Filoni has a
what's new?
problem. Filoni has a problem with having his shows connect to the Clone Wars and Rebels a little too much,
I
and
don't think that's a problem, but continue.
because you watch them, and if you're someone like myself and like Mando, you're like, okay, what's the black saber, the Bo-Katan? Okay, I guess there's Mandalore and this. Like, I don't fucking know. It was a whole song and dance just to catch up with Mando, but they did it pretty like, I think they did it well until they didn't. And then fucking Ahsoka, it's just they're straight like name dropping people in Rebels, and like they have music, like they have like the dramatic music play as the camera fades to this girl, and they expect me to know who she is. I'm like, I don't know who the
Mhm,
fuck you are. So yeah, that's what that was my thing. It's too lore heavy in the sense where it's like they expect you to watch all of that. And the lightsaber fights are cool though. You know, I turn into a little kid. I'm like, ooh, shiny swords, swing at each other.
mhm.
That was cool. And I think Filoni's a little he ain't got no balls because he was like, I'm gonna tease killing off one of these legacy characters, and then at the very end, she's gonna be alive. Like you a bitch.
I will defend the because I've thought about it, and I will tell you, it's you can watch the show not watching any Clone Wars, Rebels, whatever. You can watch it and still understand it.
No,
The only thing
I gotta
is that you're
disagree.
not. Can I finish talking?
All right, all right, all right, all
Oh,
right, all
fine. I can't finish talking.
right.
The thing is because you're gonna agree with me. Watch.
Okay.
The thing is, you can watch the show and understand who people are because the way it's structured is like, oh, go find Sabine. Who is Sabine? Then in the episode, you're fed information. Oh, she's a fighter. She's a rebel. She cares about this person. Who's this person? Oh, here's a guy giving a speech about who this person is. So the thing is that the show will tell you who everyone is, but if you're new to this Star Wars area, you're not going to care about any of them.
Hmm.
And that's the thing about the show is that it introduces you who everyone is. It's just that you're not going to give a shit about them right off the bat.
Hmm.
So that's kind of the issue here. Like if you haven't seen that stuff, then you're not going to give a fuck who Sabine is. You are told, and you're going to find out more about who Sabine is. So it's not a misinformation issue. It's a lack of caring issue. So what these
Okay.
episodes really have to do is get you to care about Sabine, is to get you to care about Ahsoka. And hopefully they accomplish that because everyone coming from the cartoons and stuff, they don't really need that because they're already invested in these characters. So hopefully what this show can do is really make newcomers invest in who they are because they're giving you piecemeals. Like you see a piece of Mandalorian armor, you see her looking at a hologram. Okay, who's that hologram? Oh, it's this person. And clearly she cares. And then like they feed you information, but now it's up to the show to get you to care about the people and not that they've given you the information. And that's the hard work that's up ahead that I hope they're able to do.
Okay, Noah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
get me?
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, I knew you would kind of agree with me. So that's like the big struggle. So hopefully we'll see if they get people to care about these characters. But I think even if the show's bad, I think I'll probably enjoy it.
I remember you said you were
Uh
gonna gaslight yourself into thinking it's good.
yeah. But I really agree with you. I think everyone was we were kind of shit talking it when we were watching it. The first episode was very slow.
Pretty
The second
lame.
one
That
picked up a
yeah,
bit more.
like that was a bad
Mhm.
first episode in my opinion.
I think there are just moments where they could have sped things up.
Uh huh.
And I'm just like, okay, I
And
get it.
I
We've been in
joked
like this
around.
archaeological site for like 12
I
minutes.
joked around. I was telling you, I was like, "This is a God of War puzzle." When it first happened, and I was like, "Oh no, this is really a God of War
Mhm.
puzzle." What she's fucking doing right now.
And it's like someone who's shit at the game is playing it because it's like taking them 10 minutes to
Uh
figure it
huh.
out. And she keeps twisting it like fuck, how do I do this? I need to look at it's like when you stream at I'm Joshua Joestar on Twitch. It's like when you see the plug I did there. It's like when you stream and you're just like, can someone tell me what to do in the chat? And like Ahsoka's waiting for someone to tell her how to turn the thing.
Also, another funny thing I felt like
Mhm.
with Ahsoka is that whenever she runs, it very much feels like she's just kind of like jogging, like doing a light jog.
Mhm.
I'm like, girl, there's a fucking like nuclear explosion behind you, and you're like just idly jogging right now. Like knees to
I
chest. Come
uh-huh.
on.
I wonder if that has to do with like the prosthetics and the costume.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because I know people were complaining that like why wasn't her horns and like Leku bigger and stuff.
Uh huh.
And I believe a lot of the response to that is that well, it's a fucking rubber helmet on her head that she has to wear.
Hmm.
If she's they're having her do a lot of stunts, surprisingly amount because since
Is
you're gonna see her
Rosario
face a
Dawson
lot.
doing her stunts, or does she have a stunt
She's
double?
doing she has a stunt double, but she is doing a lot of stunts.
Okay.
She's doing a lot of sword play, so they probably shortened it for that reason. But yeah, hopefully the running gets better because it's not like a negative, but it's just like noticeable. You know
Uh
what I
huh.
mean? It
Hmm.
just gives me like a mom running after her kid.
Hmm.
Like she's wearing like like sweatpants. She's like, I gotta get over there. Timmy fell off the fucking swing set, and she's like run walking,
Hmm.
and it's fun to watch. And I'm just like, okay, okay. But then again, Rosario Dawson, she's what 50? I don't know. So I'll give her some slack. Oh, she's 44. Never mind. No slack for you, Rosario Dawson. No slack. You're 44. Get it together.
I one
I
of the
wanted to listen to
things
this and talk shit to me.
one of the things
Mhm.
I was pondering as I was watching it. I'm like,
Mhm.
at what point do you stop introducing new fucking Siths? You know,
Mhm.
like I this guy, like, where the fuck was he throughout the whole thing? You know, like he's not an
Mhm.
Inquisitor. He has like, for at least from what we know, he has no ties to the Empire.
Mhm.
So what? Where was he? That's always my question when you introduce characters like during pivotal plot points and shit. You know,
Mhm.
Mando, I didn't really care too much because Mando up until like up until like the current season was so disconnected from everything else. I'm like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It wouldn't really play a factor. But that's my thing now. Where I'm like, okay, you got Ahsoka, who's arguably one of the big players in Star Wars now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this Sith and his like Padawan, and then you got fucking Star Killer in question mark there.
Oh,
What?
that was an Inquisitor or whatever. We don't know his deal, but
Yeah, so I'm just curious. I'm like, where have they been this whole time? You know?
mm-hmm. I think that's something they're gonna have to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I have to reiterate this because people are like, "Oh, there's too many fucking Jedi." Da, 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 da. There were like 10,000 Jedi in the Order, and maybe like 100 survived. So it's not like a lot of them survived. It's just the fact that all the stories we're watching have to do with Jedi.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I liked Mando so much
Mm-hmm.
because it didn't really have to do anything with Jedi per se. Well, it had
And even
Jedi's in
when
it, but
even when it showed up, they weren't like the focus. They were just like a cool set piece.
yeah. You know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
I bet I
I
could.
better laugh.
I know you still haven't watched the fucking Rogue One prequel.
Oh, do you mean Andor?
Yeah.
Oh no, I have not. My enemy slash father Diego keeps trying to get me to watch Andor, and I'm just like, well, if you watch Ahsoka, I'll watch Andor, and he goes, I'm not gonna watch Ahsoka, and I'm like, well, I'm not fucking watching Andor, which is great because I needed an excuse. Now I
See,
have an excuse,
I,
like, oh, I can't watch Andor
I love
because
how we were like a couple episodes ago. We were like, Blue Beetles are Black Panther, and we're not gonna fucking watch Andor. It's a Hispanic lead who like
I know.
shows his face.
You know what was so fucking cool? I think it was entertainment. It was like a magazine photo shoot, and like it was like 3/4 Hispanic with Rosario, and
I thought she was what's it?
she's I think she's Cuban,
Oh, okay, okay,
black Cuban. I
okay,
think
okay, okay, okay.
I literally have her right here. I don't know why, whatever, but she's also Hispanic. So it was just like 3/4 of the actors on the cover are Hispanic, and then you have Obi-Wan by himself. Like, hey, I'm the white representation. Like it was the opposite. Where it was like one white guy. And I was like, hey. So it was just like a cool cover. But
Okay.
back to Ahsoka. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I hope it goes somewhere interesting. Th- uh I don't want to be mean. Okay.
Say
Dave
it.
Filoni only directs 2 episodes, and I think that's a very good thing because I'm not the biggest fan of his like in-person directing. So he only directs he directed the first episode.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
And then he
okay.
does the 5th episode and everything else is other people.
How
So I'm
many
like, okay.
episodes is the show gonna be?
It's 8.
Okay.
Uh and the last episode is October 3rd.
So in like a month and a half from now, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I shout out to Dave Filoni, love ya, but don't direct live action, please. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to see what comes next. I love her. She's my favorite nepo baby. Um, I don't know what else to say. I'm just really excited. But do you have any other thoughts on Ahsoka?
I just think they better kill her off at the end of this season.
Yeah, that's the tough thing because I'm like, you heard her voice at the end of like Rise of Skywalker. You're gonna have
You
to do
can't go
something
back
with
on
her.
that now, you know?
Hmm.
Unless they
And
do
if
that
she,
whole fucking incel
mhm.
theory where it's like it's a whole nother timeline. Have you heard
Oh my
that?
god. I did. I did. So for those who don't know, there's like weird people on the internet that's like trying to theorize that they're gonna well, first of all, Kathleen Kennedy's fault for everything. And second of all, they're gonna like wipe the new trilogy off the board and replace it with the Mando trilogy, Mando verse or something. And it's this whole thing where like, oh, Ahsoka's gonna do time travel and change the future and da 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 da. And I'm just like, oh my god, guys.
You know what though?
Mhm.
Can't that like technically kind of happen? Because didn't you say something like that happened in Rebels where they did time travel or something?
Yeah, that's why I call Ahsoka a nepotism baby because she's literally saved by time travel.
Like she's supposed to be dead, right? By all accounts.
Yeah, she was supposed to die because she was fighting. There's this whole thing. Okay, spoilers for Rebels, but from what I can tell, nobody's gonna watch Rebels, so nobody cares. There's this place called I'm gonna say it wrong, but whatever, no one cares. The World Between Worlds, which this one Jedi named Ezra found in an ancient temple, and it gave like viewpoints of moments in the Force. So like he was walking around, he saw like fucking people dying and this and that, and then he saw Ahsoka, and she was about to be killed by Vader, and he pulled her out. And he's like, "Ah, no, get the fuck over here." And she's like, "Oh, thanks, Dave Filoni, for saving me." And he's like, "Oh, my name's Ezra." And she's like, "I know who I'm talking to." And then, and then after that, she survived, and that's how she made it. So I don't know if they'll do that. Um, but who knows where they're gonna go? A lot of people were saying because there's a moment in the trailer where the bad guy Balin and Ahsoka are like in this area where people were theorizing that was it. But seeing the second episode, it's clear that they're in like the star map area where they're looking for Thrawn.
Hmm?
So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go there, but it's just I don't know if I want time travel in my Star Wars. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it's already in your Star Wars, whether you like
I
it or
know, but
not.
but it's like such a small amount I can ignore it. You know what I mean? It's like
What if
I have one mushroom on my pizza and I can ignore that one
you
mushroom.
don't
You know
like
what I
mushrooms
mean?
on your pizza?
I don't.
Yeah, you don't. You're missing out on the delicates of life.
Would the guys from the Bear be mad at me?
I don't know. I don't know too much about Chicago. Like,
Sure, but what were you about to say?
Um, I was gonna say, but what if Noah? Because they announced the Daisy Ridley
Mhm.
solo film, whatever, if when and if that ever comes out.
It's a reboot and it's her and they
Yeah,
start over?
yeah, it's a reboot with her, and it's her and like training under Luke or some shit, you know?
They do it all over
Uh
again?
huh.
And Ben Kenobi's all good?
No, he's still dead.
Oh, he's still dead? Oh, he's still dead. Okay.
Oh wait, no,
How'd he
Ben
die?
Kenobi is fucking
He
Ben
slipped on a
as
banana
Kylo,
peel?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he's a good
No,
guy now.
Ben Solo.
Oh, Ben, fuck, see, too many Bens, one too many. See, but yeah,
There's a lot of fucking
that's what happens
Bens.
right there. They time travel, and then Daisy like it opens up with what it's the same
Mhm.
opening sequence, but instead of
Mhm.
like, I
Oh,
got it.
instead of okay, go.
Instead,
Cook. He's cooking,
so
folks. He's
it's the
cooking.
same scene where it's Finn as a stormtrooper. You got to keep that, you know, that's it's
Mhm.
his thing. But when Oscar Isaac shoots, and you know how Kylo like stops the bullet,
Mhm.
instead of that, it's the same. It's a different mask, and you're like, oh, okay, who is this person? And then they take off their mask, and it's Star Killer.
Oh my god.
That's the most incel thing I've ever fucking said, and I love it.
And instead of Snoke, it's Mace Windu.
Yeah, see, there we go. We're
Oh,
doing all the fan service now.
what are we feeding into?
We're fucking Reddit. That's what we're feeding into.
Oh my god. You know what? If we get featured on Reddit and people listen, I wouldn't be mad.
But
Spread this on Reddit, people.
we'd be blowing up for the wrong reason.
You'd be blowing up for the wrong reason. And then Ahsoka dies on film. That's where she dies.
Hmm. And
Wait,
then
no, that means Ahsoka. If we're wiping the timeline, that means Ahsoka can live.
it's kind of and then this is
No.
and then this is what happens too, okay? And now
Uh,
since we've established that Ezra is like fucking Star Wars god, he like he could look into all the futures, all the force and this and that, and he looks across into like a galaxy kind of far but kind of close. And then who does he see right there? He sees
Wait, oh my god, let's say it at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The
Franklin
Yuzon
Richards.
Vaughn.
He
Oh.
sees Franklin Richards. And who's Franklin Richards, you might ask? That's Mr.
God.
Fantastic Son from the Fantastic Four, and that's how they bridged the MCU to Star
Oh
Wars,
my
and that's how the
god.
Secret Wars starts. Because it's you know it all makes sense now. Doctor Strange, he's talking about the collisions and all the universes colliding, and that's how they do it. They do Star Wars versus the MCU. I figured it all out. I cracked the code. I'm over here playing fucking 5D chess while y'all are playing checkers.
You know when I said you were cooking? Well, the oven fucking exploded. So I don't know. When I said Yuzong Vong, that was a better reference. Go
I
fuck
don't even know who
yourself.
the fuck that is.
Oh, oh my god. Okay, the Yuzon. Okay. So the Yuzon Vaughn are a race in another galaxy, and they're like these huge. They're like predators,
Ooh,
right?
Star Wars
And
predators. I like
what
that.
makes them special is that they're not affected by the Force, like at
What?
all. They can't be sensed. Like
Okay,
they,
Jake.
oh my, oh how fucking dare you, you son of a bitch. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for our listeners that don't know, when you watch I'm Joshua Joestar on Twitch, our homie friend of the podcast, Jake, will like pop into chat and just drop like the most obscure lore for like Marvel shit. And we're just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he'll be like, we'll be talking about, I'm pulling this out of
Mhm.
my ass. I'll be like, oh yeah, who do you think's gonna be like, the next cosmic villain? He's like, oh, I think it's gonna be Galactus's brother, twice removed, who's evil, then good, then evil again. He's the big baddie that Marvel
Mhm.
should do. And I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about, bro?
He's just like, oh, he's about as big as villain as Galactus. And I'm just like, who the fuck is Bleep Blop? Like, what are you talking about? And then
He-
he's just like, "Oh yeah," and then Ghost Rider movie can come in, and I'm just like, the Nicolas Cage one, and then he gets mad.
that was actually a pretty solid one. I used to watch that one as a kid a
Mhm.
lot, and I liked it.
I don't think I've ever seen it, so I have no opinion on it.
I never saw the second one, but I did enjoy the first one. I
I've seen
remember
some
too.
clips of. Mhm.
There's a scene where it's like there's two Ghost Riders, and there's one on the horse, and he's like a cowboy Ghost Rider. That guy was cool. There's some old man. He's like, you want to learn how to
Mhm.
control the ghost inside of you.
Oh my god! I just remember some cool like the way his face would turn into the skull looked really cool.
Yeah,
Like
it was
for its
groundbreaking
time, good
technology.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the time, really good.
hmm
And even now, honestly, like you could see that on TV.
Didn't
Like I
Agents of
wouldn't be
Shields
mad.
do it like too?
Yeah, but they did the Mexican, the
The
homie.
one no one cares about.
Robbie Reyes. Yep.
They made a fucking
Uh-huh.
they did a nerdbot thing where it's like we're 40-year-old men trying to play 20-year-olds or
Oh my
14-year-olds.
god.
I'm just talking shit on nerdbot. Just to stop.
I feel bad for Robbie Reyes because he's one of those characters that like had notoriety, but now like no one is doing anything with him. So
He's in
the
the
only
Avengers,
time he
isn't he?
pops up, not anymore. He was in the Avengers for a minute, but now like no one's doing anything with him. And the only time he pops up is like during Hispanic heritage issues and
They're like, oh
stuff.
yeah, we got a Mexican. Let's bring
Yeah,
him
they're like,
up.
Here's all our Mexican." It's kind of similar to like when they have gay pride issues and it's like all their gay characters that you never see the rest of the year.
Who's not
They
like
just
Tim
bring out,
Drake or fucking Aqualad?
yeah, and they bring out fucking, even though everyone's always bitching about Hulkling and Wiccan, they're just like, oh, where are they coming in the MCU? Marvel only pulls them out for like the gay months. So
You know what
like,
Marvel should do?
what?
All right, hear me out.
We're so off topic, but go off.
Okay, they
Okay.
turn now. It's not their fault why this character is such an incel now. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. I will openly defend that. But
Okay.
they should turn the Punisher gay.
I don't like the terminology you're using, but what are you talking about? What do you
I
mean?
mean, like
What
you know how it's like all like the Republicans are like, oh, they use the Punisher logo
Mhm.
as like their fucking that's their symbol.
Which is fucking insane to me
Yeah,
because the
exactly.
Punisher kills
No,
cops.
that's why. And so
Mhm.
we turned the Punisher gay. We have that as like a pivotal part of
Mhm.
his character, and like now he's like more proactive in like the LGBTQ plus like equality and stuff. We make that a pivotal part of his character now. See how the Republicans act then.
I don't. You know what? You can take that to Marvel and see what they do
I'm
with
gonna go
that.
mail it to Stan Lee right now.
Yeah. He's dead. You gonna mail it to a
Somebody's running his
grave?
Instagram account. All right.
Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know a lot about the Punisher, but isn't his whole thing is that his wife and kid were murdered by like corrupt cops or something, and now he's all butthurt forever.
So okay, yeah. The long and short of it
Yeah.
is that he was a veteran, came
Mhm.
back, and he did like some sketch. He was part of like this like covert ops team or yada 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 that did like really sketchy like war crimes and stuff. And he came back and he's like, I'm gonna be a good guy, this and that. And then his whole team is like, you kind of know too much. We don't trust you. We're gonna kill your we're gonna kill your family. And so then because
Mm.
of that, he was like, oh, the country that I fought to defend and blah blah blah, it's so corrupt and broken. I'm gonna kill everybody now. So yeah, that's it. That's the long and short of it. There's a lot more
Okay.
nuances to it than that, but
Yeah,
and
it's the
eventually,
shortened version.
yeah, and then eventually Daredevil comes in and he hits him with the fucking bully club, and he's like, "Stop it!" And then for some reason that stops him.
He just smacks him. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
"Hey,
just,
knock it up, bad
yeah,
boy." He starts hitting him.
yeah.
That's a fan fiction. Somebody wrote that, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the Punisher. That's like Legacy Punisher, and then the new one they kind of
Mhm.
made him like the leader of the Hand, which is pretty cool. I really like that iteration
I've
of him a
heard great
lot.
things about it.
I never read it. I've only seen like YouTube videos, and then when I was reading Daredevil, they did a crossover
Mhm.
where Daredevil's army fought Punisher's army, and I'm like, damn, that was cool as shit. Which I haven't finished my Daredevil run. I need to go pick up my comics from the comic book shop.
I know the final issue of that run dropped, so I think you can pick them all
Yeah,
up.
the last one I had read of that one is that Punisher kills no,
Spoilers.
not Punisher.
Spoilers.
That's like three fucking volumes, 3 issues ago at this point. Daredevil.
I'm just letting
uh,
our audience know.
Okay, Daredevil and Elektra are fighting, and Daredevil realizes he needs to go to hell to go kill a demon to go break a curse, and he's gonna kill himself. And Elektra's like, "No, you're not gonna kill yourself." And as they're fighting, he like gets Elektra's arm and like stabs him or some shit like that. Like, and he goes to hell and
Oh, that's
dies.
fucked up.
And yeah, and Elektra's like, "No, my husband." It's a really like honestly, this Daredevil run has been fucking great. There hasn't been a single issue that I didn't
Mhm.
like, and he goes to hell. He wakes up in hell, and he sees his dad there. And his dad's like, he's like, "Dad, why are you in hell?" And he's like, "Cause I was too prideful, and that's a sin."
He's like, "'Cause I'm a Catholic, son."
Yeah, and so
That's what
then,
happens to all us Catholics.
and then the issue ends, and he goes to hell, and that's it. I have the one. The one right after that one where he goes to hell, and I think there's like one or two more after that that I haven't read, but
Mhm.
so okay, and so like I was saying, so then he's gonna go to hell, right? And as he's going to hell, Satan is right there, and he's like, somebody's messing with the timeline, and he looks at a portal. He opens up like a Doctor Strange-esque portal, and who's looking right back at
Mhm.
him? Ezra.
Ahsoka.
And there we go.
It's Ezra Miller.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. See, and that's then. And then after after Star Wars versus the MCU, we have Star Wars versus the MCU versus the DCEU. Because Barry
Mhm.
Allen at the end of the Flash, they didn't say this, but like he opened up a whole nother portal, and there we go. It's just the ultimate. It's the three-way fight that everyone's been waiting for.
Oh my god. Then we have like timelines are broken and you have fucking Batman fighting Darth Vader.
Yeah, then you have like
All the
the
fucking
Bat in the
fanboys
Sun
are creaming
YouTube
their
videos.
pants. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if you saw this in like middle school or something. There was this YouTube video that was like a cartoon. It was like, and it was the greatest battle of all time. And it was like every franchise fighting each other.
No.
I'll have to look it up and find it. It was like the greatest battles in history.
God, that sounds
And I don't I'll
hilarious
send
though.
it to you later, but it's like it's such like a middle school animation where it's like Naruto and Darth Vader. And it's like it just reminded me of that right now. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anyways, speaking of Ahsoka, yeah, very excited to see. First episodes were fine. It picked up in the second, and I'm excited to see what happens next. See, I try to I don't know what's happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Going back to what I said about the Star Killer thing.
Mhm.
I had saw this before you had even tweeted it.
Mhm.
But supposedly there's a working theory that the guy in Ahsoka who has the Inquisitor with the mask, who you don't see his face, who doesn't talk.
Mhm. With a great ass.
Yeah, that guy. Supposedly, again, the online theory is that he is Star Killer. And for those who are unaware, Star Killer is an original character that came out in the Star Wars game The Force Awakens. No, I'm sorry, The Force Unleashed. And that
Mhm.
was during the Xbox 360 PS3 era. And essentially, the long and short of it is Star Killer was an Inquisitor before Inquisitors were a thing. He was Vader's secret apprentice, and he's just like the strongest, most broken fucking character known to man. You know, he like can destroy anything with a blink of an eye. And the first game is really really good. The second one is where like the people get a little divisive, but he's like, he's a beloved legacy character that who's not canon. And so everyone has always, not everyone, but a big chunk of the Star Wars community has always been like, oh, it'd be cool to see Starkiller because he's such a badass character. But at the same time, it's like, how are you going to introduce a character that strong into the canon? But the now I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked or I'm going all over the place. But everyone thinks that Starkiller is the Inquisitor, the Masked Inquisitor, because the guy who voice and plays as Starkiller in the video games, I think his name's Sam Witwer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also does a lot of voices in Star Wars. Like he's a very active person in the Star Wars franchise.
Mm.
He was credited in the episodes that he appeared in. So people think, oh, this is him. But
Mhm.
it could just be like they could have just said, hey, do you want to be an Inquisitor? Throw on the costume. Could have been as easy as that.
Yeah, they could have, because he didn't really speak, but he had like a couple grunts and breathing. So I'm wondering if that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they use actors all the time. Like, somebody jokingly pointed out that the mayor of the city they're on was played by Mr. Krabs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays like a villain in Clone Wars, like voice acts Savage Press.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a whole other character. You know what I mean? Like they recycle these actors a lot. So I'm wondering if it's just that. But then again, you have one person like that, and it's like, oh, Starkiller, and theories are just gonna go crazy.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't think they should have him as
No.
Starkiller. Like it'd be as cool as just like throw on the costume. There you go. You're in Star Wars now. Like how they had the fuck, forget his name, Ted Lasso. Who's the guy who's playing this
Mhm.
Ted?
I
Jason
don't remember.
Sudeikis, I think. Yeah, Jason Sudeikis is like in the
Oh,
Mando
yeah.
when he like
Mhm.
slapped Baby Yoda. Like it could have been something like that, or like how they had like Tom Hardy in them as stormtroopers
Mhm.
in one of the Star Wars movies.
Just like a little fun thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nothing actual feature.
I think it should stay as that.
And I'm just like, if y'all want Starkiller, is this how you want to see him? As
No.
like a B rank villain in a show that doesn't
At
have time
best,
to
I would say
explain
he's
who
even.
and what he is.
I'd even say he's like a C rank, right? Because
He's just there to like keep him busy.
the only reason why I kind of know anything about him was because in one of my Slack channels, somebody was talking about him, and they're like, "Oh, hey, there's a quick little blurb on StarWars.com that explains who he is," and it was literally like less than a paragraph. It was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, he's a Inquisitor, red lightsaber. There you go." I'm like, "Okay,
Mhm.
that's not much to go off of, but yeah, okay."
But yeah, it's not much. I know some people have thrown out other theories about who he might be, but none of them really make sense to me. So
What are they? Hit me with them.
okay, well, one is see, this is another thing where it's like Clone Wars. A character named Barriss Offee. She was Ahsoka's friend who 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 framed her for domestic terrorism.
As one does.
Uh, as one does. I know you've tried to do that to me once or twice, but kept an eye out. Uh, you start hearing sirens, meow, and you're like, not so open are your eyes, Noah. And then I'm arrested. But yeah, so they were saying it might be her, but that doesn't really make any sense.
He has more
And
of a
then people were
masculine
saying,
build too.
yeah, and people were saying, oh, what if it's Ezra? Ezra was turned to the dark side with it, and I was just like, that also would just be bad
Because
storytelling.
isn't he like in Neverland right now?
Yeah, he should be gone. Because like the whole point is that Ezra got rid of Thrawn. They went in on a ship and he set the coordinates fucking random. So they're in like lost space. So they're
Wait,
getting
so
this maps.
are him
Mhm.
and Thrawn like in a car together? Like,
Yeah, it's like they got locked on a really bad road trip.
why? Okay, then why didn't one kill the other?
We don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, at the time Ezra had him restrained.
Think he had him restrained for all these years?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I have no fucking idea.
Okay.
They might have, you know what? He might have captured him. He might have killed him. They might both be lost. But like, the point is that the map will lead them to the lost space where they're theorized to be.
Okay.
So that's the whole point of that map.
What if they just became best friends? Like they just put all
That'd
their
be really
differences
fucking
aside.
funny.
They're like, you know what, man?
It's really
This
funny.
rebel, this empire doesn't matter. Like
Mhm.
this is what matters. Just two people talking and getting to know each other.
Mhm. And
That's
then
how I like
suddenly,
to think it ends.
and then everybody here is like, timeline interrupted, and then there's a portal and Loki pops out with one of those sticks. He's just like, this timeline is corrupted, and then they all start
It
fighting.
drops the TVA nuke thing that they do.
I don't know the noise. What is the TV? Isn't there a TVA noise?
I don't know. Just have Tara Strong come out and do her like Southern girl accent. Well, hello there.
Now,
Yeah.
now listen, y'all. It's time for y'all. Timeline's got to be erased.
And then
The
that's how
fucking-
Ahsoka dies fighting Loki.
Oh my god.
Because they're both like swordsters, you know?
I hope Loki uses this. We're just getting off topic. I hope Loki uses more magic in the second season of Loki, because that was like the only thing I was annoyed at him for the first season.
I was annoyed that like he got like really ancestral. Like he's like, I'm gonna fuck myself. I'm like, that's a bit weird. And then there was like a bunch of like official merch with the both of them like holding hands and kissing. That was
like
it
it
was
was
really weird.
odd. Like you could have very easily made like just make her another character. Make her Enchantress. It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah, literally, there's a plethora of fucking obscure characters you could have pulled out of your ass to be like, this is gonna be Loki's like companion, you know?
Yeah, like you could have done anything, but you wanted to. You know what? You wanted to do the incest, and I guess somebody in that writer's room has a kink, and I don't know.
I will say this: Loki is gonna be the only reason why I renew my Disney Plus subscription.
Oh, I know that you were really into that show.
Yeah, that was the one I really liked because I was like, okay, I like shows that get. I never finished Doom Patrol, but that's why I really like Doom Patrol. It's like you get hella comic booky, but you're super self-aware, you know. And that's what I feel like. That's what Loki was. It wasn't afraid to get comic booky, but like still, you know, be at its core be goofy, you know.
And I love that for you. And just for me, aside from Ahsoka, see, I brought it back. Aside from Ahsoka, I don't know what else I'm looking forward to on Disney. I'm like, what else is there to watch?
Honestly, I hate to be that guy, but there's really we're gonna be hitting a drought very soon.
Yeah, very soon we're gonna be in the middle of a fucking drought, and unless the studios get their shit together, we're gonna be in a drought for longer than we think.
I saw something on Twitter that said, like, I think it was like the Netflix CEO, one of the Netflix heads, was like, it's out of pocket for the writers to be asking for a livable wage, and I'm like, God damn it, bro.
Like these fucking CEOs need to keep their mouth shut, because every time they open it, they say something stupid as fuck. Like, come on, y'all. Just like, do you not have PR training? Just be quiet. Ugh, these dumbasses. They make it worse for themselves, which honestly, I have no sympathy, but I'm just like, I don't want to hear it.
I do wonder too when this strike is gonna end, because it doesn't look like it's gonna end anytime soon.
It really doesn't. And I feel like nowadays, even I see more pictures of like celebrities joining. But yeah, anything else we need to talk about? Any final notes on Ahsoka?
I think I can't wait for Reva to show up and be like, I'm here to help you, Ahsoka. And then she's like, where'd you get this lightsaber? I'm like, Obi-Wan has a bunch buried on Tatooine for some reason. And then
yeah, there's like a whole mountain.
And then they they have it's Ahsoka about to get like killed, and then all of a sudden she comes up like and turns on her lightsaber, and it helps.
Oh no, she's about to get killed, and then there's a lightsaber that blocks it. What is it? A brilliant glow. She knows this green lightsaber. It's from CGI Luke, and then Luke's there, na 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 na, and then the Falcon lands down, and the CGI Leia and Han Solo follows behind him. And then it's just, even though he doesn't have to be, it's CGI Chewie. Like they have the costume, but they didn't want to use it, so it's CGI Chewie. And then Leia pulls out two lightsabers.
Oh, that's
and
right.
One's
Because
yellow and
she's
one's
like
pink.
force sensitive.
And then they start fighting. And it's a whole thing. And then we turn off the TV and we stop watching Star Wars forever.
And then Thanos comes out of the portal.
And then he's chopped in half by Ultron. No.
But not just any Ultron. It's the Ultron from the fucking the What If series.
Yeah, that's how they bring the What If to live action. I've turned Ahsoka into something I hate.
What do you mean? You've turned it. You've perfected it.
I've made it better.
Yeah, better than
My
Filoni.
Ahsoka.
My new Ahsoka.
My new Ahsoka.
See, you've done what Filoni was
Oh
too
my
afraid to do, and what woke Disney would never.
Well, Disney should hire you and me. Honestly, we'd get that shit nailed down.
I 110% agree with you. All right, Noah. I think we should end it now. And
Okay. Luis, we forgot it last week, so I'm gonna ask you right now. Any homework for our listeners?
yeah, okay. So your homework is to go and play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Fun game. It's on Xbox Game Pass if you subscribe to that. And I think it's like $30, $40. It's not a full price game. So you're in for a good time. Go play it. What about you?
Yeah,
What's your homework?
My homework is, if you're into men, to go onto Twitter, and apparently Bad Bunny posted an Instagram, not Instagram, a photo of himself. Still not for me, but I understand the appeal. Like mushrooms on pizza.
God damn it! All right. Noah, if people want to find you online, where can they find you?
Oh, thank God my mom doesn't listen to this. You can find me on Noah is Garcia on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. If you want to follow my photography work, you can go to Noah Garcia _photography on Instagram. Lewis, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram and Twitter and all the other social medias known to fucking mankind at I'm Luis Gutierrez. If you want to find my work, just Google my full name, Luis Joshua Gutierrez, and my stuff at my work at IGN and my work at GameSpot should pop up. And I haven't talked about this publicly yet, but I'm going to be starting work with a new publication also as well. But I'll talk about that when it happens. It's in the works. I've been filling out paperwork. Freelance, though. I'm not cool enough to get hired full time. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, please be sure to give us a good thumbs up. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.